With me, Bonvictor Banda, South Africa. A mother was forced to throw her young baby child from burning building during rioting in South Africa set off by the imprisonment of former President Jacob Zuma. The BBC filmed a baby being thrown from a building in Durban that was on fire after ground floor shops were looted. The military now has been deployed to help police overstretched since the unrest began last week. South African police said in a statement that they had identified 12 people suspected of provoking the riots, and the total of 1,024 people had been arrested. President Cyril Ramaphosa has called it some of the worst violence witnessed in South Africa since the 1990s, before the end of apartheid. Business and warehouses also were looted in major cities and small towns in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng provinces. Ministers have warned that if looting continues, there is a risk areas that could run out of basic food supplies soon, but ruled out declaring a state of emergency. The child was caught by a crowd of people who rushed to help those trapped in the apartment block in the central business district of Durban, coastal city in KwaZulu-Natal.
Angazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. Kusho ukuthi na kusho ngakhona ku-entrance. Uzoba Nkosi yami. Oh,
1,234 people have been arrested as Zuma riots spread across South Africa. Violent mobs overwhelmed police, burnt and looted shops across South Africa yesterday, with dozens of people killed in the 5th day of rioting. The turmoil, triggered by the jailing of Jacob Zuma, the former president, last week, forced the authorities to deploy their military on the streets to try to restore peace and allow businesses to reopen, but to little effect. Soldiers fired rubber bullets at looters. Chaotic scenes were placed out from Zuma's home in KwaZulu-Natal province to Johannesburg, the country's business capital. Police said 72 people have been killed in the riots. President Ramaphosa described the violence as the worst in South Africa since the 1990s, before the end of apartheid. A lot of properties were looted and damaged in the malls during the riots after Jacob Zuma was jailed. Many of these stores have been ransacked, and the police that were spoken to said, as soon as any of the looters are apprehended by police, rocks are thrown and the police have to leave the site. And this is exactly why we are seeing the deployment of the military. There haven't been any soldiers in the particular area yet, but we do understand that they've been deployed to areas in Johannesburg. President Cyril Ramaphosa had this to say.
Some have characterized these actions as a form of political protest. This violence may indeed have its roots in the pronouncements and activities of individuals with a political purpose and in expressions of frustration and anger. However, what we are witnessing now are opportunistic acts of criminality, with groups of people instigating chaos merely as a cover for looting and theft. There is no grievance nor any political cause that can justify the violence and the destruction that we have seen in parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng.